Chef Freddie Bitsui. It is wonderful to have you here.
It's fun to be here. Thank you.
I think what's so great about fry bread, you can make it so many different ways.
Yes, many different ways. You can add herbs. You can combine it with corn. You can do different types of milled product. And herbs is also another thing. Fruit, I've seen people done with fruit.
Wow,
yeah.
This is going to be so much fun. I've
fun.
never done this before. I cannot wait. Check out the recipes we make every single day. Feel free to cook along with us if you want, or all you have to do is just sit back and enjoy the show, because it's Friday. Our website is valleydish.azcentral.com. Now let's check out what ingredients you are going to need for today's basic Navajo fry bread. Real simple, folks. 3 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, 3 cups of lukewarm water, and 36 ounces of canola oil for the deep fryer. And that's it. And this is one of those things, Freddie, where it is all about technique.
It's all about technique. It's very simple. If you don't get it right the first time, just always practice. Flour is not expensive, so you can just keep practicing.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, for you, I have a healthier version, and it's always kind of funny when people say healthy and fry bread. But it is true. I mean,
there is a way,
yes,
folks.
there is a way. You can, whatever, like the recipe is 3 cups. What we did here was a cup and a half of flour and a cup and a half of cornmeal.
Right.
I have the 3 cups of flour here. So you'll go ahead and do the same thing, just the same tablespoon of baking soda.
Now, do you want me to use my hand, or you want me to use
your hand, or you can use the spoon.
I'm going to do my hand.
What my mother always told me about making fry bread is your body will tell you what you need to eat and how you need to measure. So you just kind of fill that round and good round in the hand right there.
Tablespoon.
Yes, tablespoon.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm doing it Freddie's way.
Yes.
This is Freddie's way of measuring it. And again, these recipes, it's just a guide. For something like this, you know, you don't have to be completely exact.
No, you don't have to be.
Okay.
And for salt, it's the same way. For teaspoon, if you want to do teaspoon, you can just go right and fill your little fingers right like that.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So
and then can I mix it with my hands, or should we use a whisk?
You can. I like to use a whip because it will incorporate everything evenly a lot quicker.
Okay.
With your hand, you just kind of just run right through.
Well, and we will be using our hands.
Yes, you will be getting down and dirty in a few seconds. Yes.
Yep. Okay, here you go.
All right, excellent. So the water we're going to use is lukewarm, and you don't want it too hot, so you want it just luke and you want it just warm.
Okay.
So this is you're probably going to pour about half of it in there right there.
Okay. How many cups would you say that would be?
That's going to be about 2.5 cups.
Oh, I need a lot more.
Yes. That's good right there. And then, like, see how I have my dominant hand here?
Right.
I'm going to just be folding it in like that, kind of like.
Oh, I should have done that.
Yeah, like that. I should have told you that. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is your fault.
It's my fault. Yeah.
You should have known better. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna just kind of, I'm gonna follow you.
Yeah, you're just gonna want to spin the bowl and scrape the sides while you're at it. And if we can move this little thing at the bottom, just to,
sure.
I just don't want the glass to break. So you see how it starts incorporating here like this? And you just want to knead that dough in there. You just want the dough to be very smooth.
Right. You don't want to be too kneady.
You don't want to be too kneady.
Right.
Nobody likes a needy person.
No, not even the fry bread.
No, not even. And the trick is, my mother always used to tell me, is to make sure your bowl is completely clean.
Okay.
So that you're scraping it. But what you're really doing is you're taking off of these little parts of the dough will actually dry and crust on the side. And you don't want to do that. You want to alleviate all of that from the beginning.
Now, my consistency, this is really interesting because I'm trying to follow you here.
Yes.
My consistency is a lot different than yours because I use the corn.
It's very grainy.
Yeah.
And if you sometimes you will need a little bit more flour, but just remember, when you're making fry bread, or any other type of dough, because the type of consistency you're looking for in this dough is somewhat of a pizza style dough.
Okay, that's
very
good to
smooth,
know.
so when you, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, when you pop it in, it'll bounce right back out.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Oh, it's a little bouncy there.
Yeah, it's a little bouncy. Is it a little tacky? There's some tackiness. Oh, that's good right there. So just go ahead and keep molding that out.
Okay. And I don't need to add any more water or flour or anything.
Yes, and just keep in remember, climate is important when you're making dough because since we're in Phoenix, we might need a little bit more water as opposed to if we were in Flagstaff where the air is a little more moist.
Yep.
So that's kind of how we want to do it. So when you have it nice and smooth, do you see how mine is still a little tacky?
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, flaky, yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is perfect.
With this corn, it is. And again, we should remind folks, too, that when you want to do, let's just say a healthy version, whatever you want to do, all you have to do is just half the flour and then half whatever healthy version you want, right?
Yeah.
Like oats. You were saying oats were great?
Go to the, like the Safeway that I live by has those dispensers where you have all those milled products.
Yeah.
Go there, have fun. Add sunflower seeds, different things, you know, whatever.
That's a
whatever
great
you feel
idea.
is deemed necessary.
Okay, so from here, where do we go?
From there, you'd leave it in the bowl.
Got it.
And then you can cover it.
Okay, and then we're going to show you the second step.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So this
let me get these out of the way.
After we have kind of torn apart little parts of the dough and just made it into balls.
Yes.
And it has to rest.
It has
for
to
how
rest.
long?
For about 15 minutes. And the importance of resting is just the glue end. It gets really tough.
Right.
If we were to knead it, fry it immediately, and you were to tear your dough, it would be like rubber.
And you said it's very important to have the wrap over it.
Yes, very important to have, because you don't want the skin, the little crusty skin, to dry.
Okay.
So you see, like this dough, for example, is very smooth. And when you have it resting, I like to just kind of dip it in a little bit of flour right there, like that. So.
Why is that?
Because the water will, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but the water will kind of separate and it'll become a little more tacky.
Okay.
So this will prevent you from being a little tacky.
See, I think we don't want to be tacky or needy, folks.
Yeah.
Bad combination. Okay,
Exactly.
so this is the fun part, I think, for me.
You're going to want to start from the inside out and just keep pushing. The, you know, this is, fry bread is the ultimate in comfort food with native tribes across the country, and nobody gets it right. You know?
Really?
Yeah, nobody gets it right because somebody's grandmother or mother always makes better fry bread than the person next door.
Yes.
And that's the way that it works with these dishes such as this. So you see, it's kind of
thin. Yeah. And I noticed, you know what? Did you use some of the corn in this one too? Because I can feel it.
Oh yes, the corn is on this side and the flour is on this side.
That's
so I
great.
pre-made that one for you.
Okay. So it's almost like a pita.
It's almost like a pita, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And you just want to get the sides thinned out, and some people will slap it back and forth. That's kind of to make it bigger if they want.
Just don't roll it around with your knuckles like a pizza. Yeah.
No, you can use a rolling pin. Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as you practice. Your fry bread can look like the state of Texas. Well, when it's after it's fried, but as long
Make
as
different shapes.
as long as the flavor is there, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a deep fryer, and
Yes,
this is great because this kind of controls your portion size as well too.
Because the size is very small. Some people will use a flame and fry it in a pan, and the pan is pretty big. So you know you could control your portions. That's very important to enjoy foods like fried bread.
Absolutely. And this is at 400.
Yes.
So can we drop it?
Yes, just drop it in there carefully.
There we go.
There you go.
How easy is that? Oh, you know what we need too? We need some paper towels.
Yes, here, want to hold that real quick while I get that?
Because when we're done flipping it, and it's kind of cooked on both sides till it's golden brown for about like a minute and a half, then this is where we can soak up a lot of the excess oil.
Yes.
Yeah. So when do we kind of, see, this is really interesting to me because I haven't seen it with the corn before. I've seen it with the regular flour, but, you know, speaking of the flour, too, there is a basic difference between Navajo flour, right?
No, Navajo fried bread.
Navajo fried bread and...
other tribes of flour, because specifically in the Four Corners, for example, where the Navajo tribe is from, we like to use the Bluebird flour specifically. I spoke with the owners of Bluebird once, and they told me that it's just a trial and error of how to get that protein balance right for the purpose for frying, which was a really cool thing for me to talk to them about, and we enjoyed our conversation about that.
Yeah.
But using the Bluebird flour, using that particular ingredient is what specifically makes it Navajo fry bread.
Okay, but if you use your regular basic flour,
so we
which
use
you
AP flour,
absolutely
you can.
Then I'm going to set this down here because I want to flip it for folks to see.
Yes, flip it right there, and you'll know because it gets golden on the edge.
Right, and it kind of poofs up.
It poofs up.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's nice and golden. See?
Oh, so good. Okay, folks.
Okay.
That easy. All right. Well, while that is going to continue to cook up here, and I've got my second one ready.